So after talking about repeated and independent matrix design, we have a third design, right? See, the problem is, let's suppose, see the long story short, repeated measures is good for controlling participant variables, right? But very bad for order effect. क्योंकि order effect बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ पे आता है. Independent measures design very good to control order effect, but very bad participant variables, right? So that's the dilemma. एक को उठाओ तो उसमें ये मसले हैं, दूसरे को उठाओ तो उसमें ये मसले हैं. What if we have that one design which is perfect in both the regard, as in participant variables भी now and order effect का मसला भी now? Do we have that perfect design? The answer is yes, we do have that perfect design. That perfect design is known as match pair design. So this is where match pair comes in. Match pair design is to solve this issue once and for all. No order effect, no parsimony variables. How do you do that? What is that? Abhi hum baat karte hain. Let's talk about it. So match pair design, right? It is what it is. It is this word, right? Match pair. Okay. So let's suppose we're doing this condition again, right? Okay. In which temperature will a student perform better in exam? Hot condition, cold condition, right? We have still this debate going on. So like cold condition and hot conditions. अब मसला क्या होता है कि you know what? If we do the independent measures मसला है, repeated measures मसला है. So what we're gonna do is we have two groups, right? The cold condition and the hot condition. Now we're gonna do it the match pair way. And you're going to see a significant difference of how is match pair different than independent matrix design, how is match pair different than repeated matrix design. So in the cold condition, let's suppose we have participant number 1, right? The overall हमारे पास 10 participants होना चाहिए. So 5 in each. Participant number 1 over here. अच्छा, participant number 1 is gonna be male. So yeah, the gender of the person is male. As we discussed, that हो सकता है कि putting all the males in the cold condition will be unfair. Putting all the females in the hot condition will be unfair. Likewise, putting all the females in the cold, putting all the males in the hot is going to be unfair. So we need to make sure, okay, you know what, both the condition have the equal genders. So yeah. So if participant number 1 in the cold condition is a male, so participant number 1 in the hot condition is also going to be a male. Number 2. Participant number 1 who is a male is going to have an IQ of what? 99. We need a participant number 1 in the hot condition to be a male, but be as smart as participant number 1 in the cold condition. So participant number 1 in the hot condition, same IQ later than, right? All right. हो सकता है कि you know what, his age may also be a factor. हो सकता है कि you know, the older you get, the lesser you can experience cold conditions. So you know what, he's of age 28. We're gonna make sure our participant number 1 who's in hot condition is also the same age. So yeah. So this is just participant number 1. Let's go for participant number 2. Participant number 2 happens to be a female now. IQ 102 and age is what? 19. We need to be sure that a participant number 2 is not a male but also a female in group number hot group. IQ, same IQ, 101 kar lo, 102 kar lo, but round about the same, right? And the age should be 19. We're gonna do, to save time, I'm not gonna do for the rest of the 3 people, right? Let's just stick with these people. We have 4 people now. 2 people in the cold condition, 2 people in the hot condition, right? Now, the question is, are these 2 groups equal in quantity? Yes, 2 people here, there, 2 people here, there, right? Are these 2 groups equal in quality wise? Well, look here, male, same IQ, same age. Female, same IQ, same age. So quality wise, these people are equal. So these people will go in the hot condition, these people will go in the cold condition, right? Then they're gonna give exam. The exam is supposed to be the same exam, right? And at the end of the day, you're gonna find out, okay, bhai, which temperature allows for more scoring. Now, इससे क्या होता है? Because one participant goes through in one condition only, right? This male will go in the cold condition. This male will only go in the hot condition, right? So यहाँ पे order effect, there's not going to be any order effect क्योंकि you know what, you're only going in one condition. But is there a difference in participant variables? नहीं, क्योंकि this participant variable is exactly the same as this participant variable. So it's like basically having a clone in this condition and having that person's clone in this condition. But basically, cloning is not possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to create groups. जहाँ पे we're gonna have people of the same characteristics उस group में, same characteristics उस group में. That's how you do match pair. Is there any confusion? Yes, सब clear. All right. Now this seems like an ideal, and it is very ideal, and ideal things have problems. What is the problem? See, and when you conduct experiments, what are the chances that I will easily find a male, पहली बात तो ये वाला, and I feel this, I'll find the same male having these characteristics all over again, अलग से. The chances are very, very low. It is possible, but it's very, very low. I have to search very much for him, right? So it's very hectic, पहली बात ये, to make equivalent groups. एक female तो इस characteristics साथ मिल गई, so उसी फिर बाहर निकल के दोबारा फीमेल को ढूंढना जो इसी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक के मैच करती हो. फॉर एग्जांपल हो सकता है कि बार द जेंडर एंड द एज मैचेस, बट आईक्यू मैच नहीं कर रहा. 101 वाला, 101 वाला आईक्यू आ ही नहीं रहा, 81 है अब. सो लाइक आईक्यू मैच नहीं कर रहा, सो ऑब्वियसली इक्विवेलेंट ग्रुप्स नहीं बनेंगे. सो to match every single characteristic is gonna be very hectic, very, very difficult. Number two, what if you have unique cases? So yeah, let's suppose we हम experiment कर रहे हैं. We're gonna do an experiment. The experiment is, you know what, जो acid attack victims होते हैं, right? Uh, we're gonna find out कि यार acid attack victims के अंदर depression किस तरह आती है, right? We're gonna have क्या कहते हैं, acid attack victims who have acid attack on their क्या कहते हैं, faces, acid attack victims who don't have attack on their faces, right? So that's gonna be the condition. So like acid attack on the face, acid attack on the limbs. अब क्योंकि acid attack वाले victim, पहली बात है, these are not common people, a very specific population. So obviously, number of people that are available for this experiment drastically reduces. Number two, आप उसी लोग में से I try to do the same match pairing, बहुत मुश्किल होगा, बहुत मुश्किल होगा. तो जितना रेयर केसेस आते हैं, जितना यूनिक पॉपुलेशन आती है, उनके अंदर मैच पेयर करना बहुत ही मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि वो वैसी पॉपुलेशन का उसके अंदर से फिर एग्जैक्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक का दूसरा बंदा निकालो, नहीं होता. तो मैच पेयर के भी मसले हैं. इट्स वेरी वेरी हार्ड टू पुल ऑफ क्योंकि नॉट मेनी पीपल आर अराउंड of the same duplicate quality, but if you do pull it off, takes care of all the problems that you have in repeated and match pair. So is that clear? Oh, also, what are the odds of a similar person? Yeah. What if we do find that person, but this person doesn't show up? More problems. पहली बात तो मुश्किल से मिला है, अब उसने मना कर दिया, यही मसला है participants. So it's very hectic. So अमूमन तौर पे very it does happen. You are able to get the match pair, but it rarely happens. So ज़्यादातर in your AS syllabus, right, you're gonna have many experiments doing random or independent measures are repeated. I don't think there's an experiment having a match pair in your AS. मैं शायद भूल गया हूँ, but ज़्यादा नहीं है. And this is the reason why it's very difficult to pull off. So is this clear? All right, so there's a fourth design. People don't see it as design, but you know what? It is kind of a design. Case study. केस स्टडी के अंदर ठीक है ना केस स्टडी doesn't simply qualify under design but like to get the gist of it understand this case study is going to investigate one person or one group of people having unique characteristics, right? For example, you've seen documentaries Nat Geo के अंदर this person goes to some African tribe. African tribe का मतलब है 100 लोग होंगे, but those 100 people belong to one particular group. या तो पूरे tribe को study करता है, or they study just one person of a tribe, right? But even still, it's a case study. If you study one person, if you study 100 people of these same unique characteristics. And वो थोड़ा बहुत लंबे अरसे तक चलता है longitudinal, right? In-depth data निकलते हैं, right? For example, you do interviews, questionnaires, or whatever. अभी हम in-depth data निकलता है, लेकिन in-depth data किस तरह निकलता है? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that later on. All right. So why do I see this as a design? Well, basically, in case study, right? What's going to happen? And तुम्हारे AS syllabus के अंदर case study क्या कहते हैं? है. Case study है तुम्हारे. There's paperwork, right? There's the button phobia kid, right? And तुम्हारे A2 में भी काफी case studies हैं, right? अच्छा, अब case study के अंदर because they see one person, right? It doesn't mean that case study cannot have independent or repeated design. How? When people see one, they say, you know what, it's a case study. But one person can also have a repeated major design happen to them. Say, किस तरह? Such as this one. ये वाला. One person can go here and then can go here, right? Same with 100 people, right? Numbers don't matter. These 100 people can sit here, then 100 people can sit here. So a repeated image design can be done with one person. So please, whenever you want to find out कि यार यहाँ पे repeated है, यहाँ पे case study scene है, don't look at number of people. Just ask yourself this: how many conditions are there? Case study के अंदर, particularly if it's a true case study, you will have no conditions. If it's an experiment, it's gonna have at least two conditions, right? Repeated image design or at least two conditions over. Case study, pure case study, there's no conditions. So basically, repeated image design के अंदर अगर एक इंसान के साथ करोगे, there's comparisons involved. For example, यहाँ पे comparison है. You're comparing this with this, right? The case study हो रहा होगा ना, is gonna be something like this. Number of people don't matter. It's gonna be like this. You're gonna study one person or many people, right? In या तो no conditions or in one condition. कम से कम like एक condition, एक से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. And जब एक ही चीज होती है, तो obviously आप उसको किसी चीज से compare नहीं करते ना. Comparison can happen when there's कम से कम two conditions. So there's no comparison. You're just making a person go through one condition, see what happens. That's it. So this is a case study, right? This person, you make 100 people sit in the cold examination rooms and see what happens. That's it. There's no comparison in case study. Repeated image design can it can be done with one person, 100 people, doesn't matter, but there's always two conditions, and there's always a comparison is going to happen. So please don't go with number of people. Number of people can be misleading. Is that clear? All right. So far we discussed independent majors, repeated majors, match pair, and case study. Okay. All right. We have for about time for sampling. Then we're gonna be done. There are many type of sampling involved, right? Business class, sociology class, can that obviously if you're taking those subjects, they're gonna talk about different type of sampling, snowballs, stratified, and these are fine, right? If you can apply these concepts in psychology. But 990 के अंदर, you have three main sampling techniques, right? But before studying sampling techniques, you need to understand what is a sample. Who's the sample? What's the sample? and इनके ऊपर किसके ऊपर sampling technique apply हुई है? You need to find out who's the sample. Sample से पहले you need to understand the word called population. When people hear the word population, they think, you know what, it represents everyone on Earth. Not necessarily. It represents a population का मतलब क्या है? It represents everyone who could be a potential participant. For example, if I do my study on transgender people, right? Now, transgender people के ऊपर मैं research करता हूँ. I want to know the depression transgender individuals. Obviously, I will not take everyone in the entire world क्योंकि इसके अंदर male भी आएगा, female भी आएगा, not only transgenders. So in psychology, population का ये मतलब नहीं होता कि everyone in the world. In psychology का ये मतलब होता है depending on my research. If I want to do it on transgender people, it will only my population is gonna be only the transgender people on Earth because my study will only include transgender people. So everyone who's transgender, they have some percentage to be in my study. If you're not transgender, you have 0% to be in my study. So population, potential candidates calling in my study, right? Sample, people who actually get chosen in the study, as in the actual people who later become the participants. So yeah. So when you're selected, you become the participants. When you have a chance to be selected, you're the population. इसमें कोई मसला? All right, so you want to make sure that your population does represent everyone on Earth. Yeah, is generalizable. So you don't want your sample to be क्या कहते हैं, locally restricted. You want your population, sorry, you want your sample to come from diverse backgrounds, right? As long as they meet the basic criteria. I want transgender from Africa. I want transgender from this country. So as long as they meet the basic criteria, right, they will qualify. But you need to make sure कि यार वो थोड़ी diversity रखें. So you want to make your population to represent different cultures, different what social, economics, countries, race, religion, but as long as it's not interfering in your studies. For example, if you feel like people who are Latin and people who are Asian and उनके transgender होने से पहली बात डिप्रेशन हो सकता है और नहीं है, लेकिन रेस अलग होने से भी डिप्रेशन अलग आने वाला है, and you don't want that to interfere in your study, so फिर you're gonna make sure कि वो सिर्फ एक ही रेस से belong करें, right? Depending, as long as it doesn't interfere with your initial aim. Bharat. So you want to make sure your population, your sample is as diverse as possible, right? So that it can be representative of everyone on Earth. मिसाल के तौर पर अगर हम पाकिस्तान के ऊपर स्टडी करेंगे, so obviously जो भी हमारा रिजल्ट निकल के आएगा, that's going to represent only Pakistanis, not the people of England. So that is what you want to do. But how do you ensure that it includes everyone on ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा people? And what is the problem with that, with doing that? And उसके alternative क्या होंगे? And what's the problem with that? We're going to talk about that in sampling technique, लेकिन that's going to come later on. So we're going to stop the sample right now, ठीक है ना? And I'm going to ask you if you have any questions to clarify, अभी तक, or is everything okay, perfectly clear? All right. ठीक है, Sharia, I'm going to keep it till यहाँ तक, and we're going to continue on Monday with sampling technique. ठीक है? So I'm signing off. Allah Hafiz.